have this feeling every time we choose.
Yes, everybody, welcome back to Uzi Mumbai, the hub of everything Mumbai City FC, where we're back with another video. And today we'll be talking about the contract extensions that the club have had made in the off-season so far. Without further ado, let's get straight into it. So first one, Bipin Singh. Shlok, do you want to go with this?
Yeah, sure. I mean, this guy just needs no introduction. He has lit up the league proper last year. 6 goals and 4 assists in the 22 games he played. And he started 20. So, that's like almost 1 goal involvement in every start. Fantastic stats for somebody who's played on the left wing. And, he's an Indian as well. So, he doesn't cross that foreign quota. Only player to score a hat-trick, in the season. And he scored that ever-important goal that won us the trophy. So, I mean, in the fans' eyes, he's just a cult legend at this point, right?
Proper hero.
Yeah. And it's not just that, he was at the right place at the right time. Overall involvement in play is just phenomenal. He's helping with pressing. He helps with turnovers, guards that left flank really, really well. And his contract has been extended to 2025. So that's the next 4 years. At this point, he is 26 and he's already spent 3 years at the club. So going ahead, he can be a very pivotal figure in the dressing room and on the pitch. So overall, it's just a great, great extension.
Exactly. So obviously, we've had 2 confirmations from the club, Bipin Singh and the next player. So we might not talk a lot about them. And the next player being Vignesh Dakshinamurthy. Now, here's a player that came in his first year 2 years ago and was under a lot of scrutiny by the fans and opposition fans alike. A lot of cases of accusations of nepotism, accusation of him being not good enough, etc. Being selected by a club without even playing ISL or even I-League, because he came from Ozone FC, which was an I-League 2 club at that time. It still is, I think. So a lot of criticism. Played just started 2 games in his first year, played just 12 minutes last year, and now this year he suddenly become a star. So it really goes to show how much faith in a player can actually, how far it can take you. Scored a stunner against Hyderabad FC. He's created 2 chances and he started 10 out of the 19 games he's played. So his contract extended till 2025 as well. So which means that by the time his contract gets over, he'll be about 27. So again, a player not just for the future, but now becoming a real contender for the starting 11 this season, and could only get better from here. Now, the unconfirmed news, the rumors and the almost confirmed by every media outlet but not by the club itself news. So, Shlok.
So, starts off with an interesting one, which is Pranjal Bhumij. If you'd followed last season properly, you'd see that he really made an impact in the last 2 league games. It was Odisha and ATKMB. And he just came on, changed the game against Odisha, started against ATKMB, and it was something that we hadn't seen earlier in the season. And if you've been supporting Mumbai since like 3-4 years ago, you'd see how much hype Pranjal Bhumij has held among the fans. We've always seen him as somebody who was an up-and-coming player. Now he's 22. Uzi reports that there is a long-term extension on the table for Pranjal Bhumij. It's going to be interesting though, seeing the options we have on the wings, right, Sama?
Yeah, it's we have already Jackie who came in. We have Vikram Pratap, Bipin who had a fantastic season, and Rene who played there. So the only reason you can think about Pranjal is that Sergio Oliveira obviously sees something in him that he could make him into a future star, perhaps, right? And so a long-term contract extension, not even a short one or something. So he is a player for the future, and it's going to be really interesting to see where we go on from here.
Interesting fact though.
Yeah.
If he does extend, he will be the senior most player at the club next year with Amrinder leaving, and that's something I don't think any of us would have expected.
Yeah, I think he is a good player. That's why he stuck around for so long, and obviously the club values him a lot, right?
Yeah.
It has been a season like last season where our Indian wingers, who over the past three or 4 years they weren't given that much of an opportunity. They've really come through and shown in this season.
Yeah.
Right, and they've become proper stars. So Pranjal, Bhumij could just be in line for of one and many who are going to go into the future and become proper stars, not just for the club but for the national team as well. And that's really interesting if you think about it.
Yeah.
Right. So the next player, Amey Bhau, yet another player who stole all Mumbaikers' heart. Initially, his signing raised some eyebrows as to why somebody from the I-League 2 was being signed. Obviously, he was a former Goa player and he played under Sergio Oliveira, but he never really, he never started for them as far as I remember. But he proved to be a live wire on the right, and he ran his socks off for the team. He even picked up Hero of the Match award in our 1-all draw against Chennai. And being a Mumbaiker himself, the contract extension is a fantastic news for all us Mumbaikers, because we love to see our fellow Mumbaikers do well in Indian football. He progressed immensely well throughout the season, and his progress has only been further hyped up by his performances in the semi-finals and in the more important matches in the league. He started off as a player who wasn't arguably that good. A lot of questions were raised, and he became a player who became in contention for maybe even the national squad at right back.
Yeah.
So Shlok, what do you feel about him?
Again, you look at this project that the club is having of bringing in all these Mumbai born and bred players. Amey Bhau, there's Rainier, Farooq was there. Unfortunately, he went out. Bheke probably coming in, and so on. It's great to see how we have this player who's from Mumbai and he can really just go through the system. And see now Mumbai City has established itself as the first club to give Amey Bhau a proper chance in the ISL. Nobody can come up and just say that they bought him from some other club. No.
Exactly.
Yeah, he got trained at Goa, but here's where he actually was given the faith by Oliveira, and they actually got him through. And imagine you have a 3-4 year extension on the cards for him, and he's somebody who is an extremely hardworking player. This is something I've been told from fans of Mohan Bagan. This is something I've been told from fans of Goa. He's always giving his 100% in training, and when you look at somebody like that, you just know that there's a lot more they can do in the future if they're given that time and training. Right?
Yeah.
So he's somebody I'll really keep my eye out.
Exactly. It's a very welcome extension indeed. And one which at the start of the season we may not have seen coming, but by the end of the season we were definitely hoping that it goes through.
I think he's going to be one of those players you get on your jersey, he can really turn out to be like that.
He could turn out to be a proper hero. It just depends on because he's always been a hard worker, right? Every youth coach, every senior coach has always said that about him. The only thing missing from his game was the quality, and now by the end of the season we started seeing that. We've seen players who've been hardworking, like Bipin Singh, one of the most hardworking players we had in the last season.
Yeah.
But when you combine that with proper training and a proper output and goal, you can see how that hard work turns into national team play, and that's what we expect from Amey now as well.
Yeah.
So going on to the last player now in the contract extension, and this is a bit of a surprising one, is Hemington Mavia or Valpuia, right? So Valpuia is a very promising centre back, right? And Shlok, you want to talk more about him?
Yeah, sure. Very promising centre back that we signed from ISL last season. I think he started around 1 game and he played 4. But this season he failed to make an appearance because he was competing head to head with Mehtab Singh, who we had just signed at the start of the season, right? And I think it was always going to be between those two for who gets to be the backup Indian centre back, if Hernan or Fall is out. And it's an interesting extension seeing how somebody, who hasn't played a single minute is given the faith of, again, it was supposedly a long-term extension. So, to put faith in a player who hasn't played all that much, especially when you're going out and signing somebody like a Rahul Bheke on top of this, it raises rooms for a lot of possibility. Again, interestingly enough, there were clubs in contention for him around January, and they were looking to get him on board. So, Samar, do you think there could be a future in that angle?
Yeah, there were clubs who were very interested in getting him. Obviously, they didn't. And with his contract extension and him being so young, the most I think beneficial move for both the club and the player would be a loan move, probably outside, especially with like Sir Rahul Beki coming in, who we're thinking is the primary centre back, and then Mehtab Singh with the excellent performances put in, and maybe even a foreign centre back that might come in the next season. So I do hope, if that's the case for his case, or for his sake, I would want him to go out on loan. But obviously, we've been big fans of Valpuia. We were big fans of him last season, and we still believe that he still holds a lot of value for the club. The only thing is how much of that value can Sergio Oliveira and the other players extract out of him and make him a proper player,
Yeah.
Interesting to think about all the young players we're thinking are going out on loan, but last year we actually did not have a lot of loan players. The young loan players.
Yeah, it's like a lot of unexpected players have made a breakout as well. Just as we discussed, as Vignesh, Amey, Bipin, unexpected to an extent. I don't think anybody predicted this kind of rise from him. So it just makes you wonder, if they're going to put in that time and effort on Valpuia, how far can he actually end up going? Even though he may start off as a backup, you never know.
Exactly.
With these kind of players,
Yeah, I just hope it's not like a Sana Singh, where we see a player with great potential, but he leaves the club and then he shines at another club. Yeah. So I think that's it for the video. Obviously, some exciting news with the contract extension, but other than that, there's not been a lot of news surrounding the club. It's been pretty dull and massive deja vu considering last year. Do we expect more stuff to happen? Obviously. Will it happen soon? We see.
Never know. We never know, man. We don't even know when ISL is gonna happen.
Yeah, we never know when ISL is gonna happen, or even if
it will happen.
Yeah, so
it's got depressing.
You just gotta keep your ears out for the news and follow guys like Ireland Essential or something, I guess. But anyways, that's it for the video. Thank you so much for joining in and watching the video. Hope you guys liked it. Do make sure to like, share and subscribe, and comment down below other videos you want to see. Last time we got a pretty interesting comment. We'll try to follow up on it, definitely. And yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys soon.